What is up, everyone? Paul from Soundless Productions here, and today I'm going to be going over how to do Ymir's questline and get to a secret boss at the very end and get this really cool and amazing Ash of War as well. Now, this questline is kind of a long one. It's a lot of running back and forth, running to this area, running to that area. There's a couple of things you have to do in order to even be able to get to this exact area as well, and to get to the quest line, and in order for you to complete it. But other than that, it is very simple and pretty easy to actually be able to get through. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in to Ymir's quest line and find the secret boss. So in order for us to actually be able to get here, we actually have to come up here to the Cathedral of Meter. So in order to get here, we're going to have to go to this grace towards the church district of the Shadowkeep. Now, in order to get here, we have to go through these bridges over here. We have to head to Bonnie Town through the Morth Ruins. Now, the Morth Ruins, very easy to find very early on as well. So, once you're at the Morth Ruins, we're going to go ahead and jump on Torrent, and we're going to head through this archway that is right here. As we're heading through this archway, we're going to come to this church-like building that is slowly decreeping into the ground. We're going to go ahead and drop down here onto this rooftop, and then once we're on this rooftop, you see that where that message is right over there on the right. We're going to go ahead and jump on this rock here, and then we're going to slowly jump down below right over here. Once we get down below right here, we're going to head towards the building where the door is, and we're just going to head through that doorway. Now, once we get through this doorway, we're going to go ahead and turn around, and we're going to head off the backside right over here. You can either jump on that balcony on the cliff that I was just on, and we're going to drop down again onto these stairs. We're then going to head through this cave that's right over here all the way to the end, and at the very end of this cave, we're going to go ahead and find a ladder. We're going to go ahead and head up this exact same ladder in order for us to come out into Bonnie Village. Now, Bonnie Village is a bowl or pot area that is filled with NPC guys that will just destroy you if you let too many of them gank you. But it's a pretty simple area that we actually have to get through, and it's pretty fast. All we have to do is head through. Now, there is going to be this side of grace the second you come up the ladder, so go ahead and rest there and touch it to make sure that you have this unlocked. We're then going to head across these two bridges in order to completely head towards the Shadowkeep Church District. So we're going to take this road all the way to the end, and we're going to head towards the bridge that's over here. Now, the thing about this is the bridge is out, so we're going to have to actually head over here towards the right, and we're going to jump across the cliffs over here and head back towards the other side of where the bridge is. We're then going to follow the same road to the other bridge and just follow these bridges completely across. There will be this broken down shack on your right, so that is a good indication that you're heading in the correct way. Now, once you head across here, we're going to come over here to this second bridge, and right across this second bridge, we are going to find another site of grace. Now, again, make sure that you're jumping off Torrent and touching these sites of grace, just in case anything happens and you die. This way, you don't have to completely run all the way back. Once we get to this side of grace, we're just going to follow this main road right up here, all the way up towards Rabbith's Rise. So just go ahead, jump back on Torrent, and head down the road. Now, there might be some wolves, some bears that are inside of these woods, but as long as you keep going, you'll be good and you won't have to worry about them whatsoever. So just head down this path all the way as far as you can go. Now, when you get right around this area, once you come out of this little cave-like thing, there will be a Wicker Man that is going to be right here. I already killed him inside of my playthrough. If you guys have not killed him, you're going to have to avoid him and make sure that he doesn't kill you at all. So just try to maneuver as best as you possibly can. Following this path a little bit more up, over here to our right, we're going to go ahead and see Rabbith's Rise. Now, Rabbith's Rise is an area that we're going to have to go to towards the end of this quest line, so make sure that you guys remember it. There's also a site of grace that's right over here to the right next to where Rabbith's Rise was, right here. So make sure you go ahead and touch there and rest there in case any wolves or bears or the Wicker Man is still following you. Now, once we get here, we're going to go ahead and follow this path towards the left side. Heading towards the left side, we're going to run into a couple of marionette soldiers on our way. These guys, again, just make sure that you're avoiding them completely. Don't try to fight them whatsoever. Just ride right past, and you could see the cathedral straight ahead. So it's a very simple and easy path to get through, and then just make sure that you just stay on torrent and you keep moving. Now, once you get to this cathedral, we're going to go ahead and head inside. So go ahead and jump off of torrent, and there's going to be a site of grace right over here to the left before you head through that metal gate that's directly ahead of us. So go ahead, touch the grace, rest again in case any of the marionette soldiers end up aggroing on you and come into the cathedral. Now, once you're inside of the cathedral and you've done what you've had to do at the site of grace, we're going to go ahead and head over to this metal gate. You're going to go ahead and open up the metal gate right over here, and once you open up this metal gate, we're just going to go completely straight to the throne area. There's going to be a guy sitting on this throne. He's a high priest, and his name is Ymir. Again, this is his quest line, and we need him in order for us to be able to complete this quest line and find the secret boss. So once you get over to Ymir, just go ahead and speak to him. Exhaust his dialogue as much as you possibly can. He will tell you that he is a high priest and that the stars are watching over you, and you have to do this quest for him in order for you to basically make your way into the stars. It's kind of like a weird kind of thing that he's into. Now, he does talk a little bit more about the lore, so definitely listen on the things he has to say. Once you're done talking to him, the first time he will give you a ruins map and this like whistle. And now we're going to head to our first finger ruins, which is going to be the ones that are down here by the jagged peak. These finger ruins are very easy to get to as well. We actually have to go through the Cerulean coast very south. So head over here to this side of grace that I just went to if you guys have already discovered. If not, you will have to head into the Cerulean coast and just kind of follow where I go. We're just going to go ahead and drop down over here towards the beach line. Now, once we get to the beach line, you will see these hand enemies just like we saw back in the base game. Anyway, just follow the coastline all the way down, and you're going to want to stay close to the water as you possibly can and just curve around wherever it is. Do not stand in the water. I don't know if you can fall through at certain points, so I just stayed here. It is very simple to follow. Just go ahead and follow the coastline, the sand areas, and you will eventually come over here, and once you turn left around this corner of rocks, you will go ahead and find the entrance into our finger ruins. So you're just going to go ahead and head over to this destroyed building, and you're going to follow it all the way up to the left. Once you follow it all the way up to the left, we're right at the entrance of the finger ruins. You're just going to want to go ahead and head over here to the right and jump off that edge there, and we are technically at the finger ruins. Once we get there, there is going to be a site of grace for us to go ahead and rest at, so make sure you touch it just in case. The enemies in the finger ruins are absolutely unbearable. They are the worst kind of enemies I have ever seen in a Dark Souls game. So make sure that you're prepared and you touch that grace, because you might die here. Go ahead, hop back on torrent, and once you head back on torrent, we're just going to go ahead and follow the cliffside all the way down. Now, at the middle of the finger ruins is going to be this giant bell that we're going to have to go ahead and blow into in order for us to activate the first finger ruins, and we will actually get a talisman from it. From every single ruins we do, we get a talisman, so make sure that you're doing this quest line for these really good talismans. One of them is a buff in health, or health potions, flasks. There's also another one that's a buff in FP flasks, so it's really helpful. Go ahead and ring the first hanging bell right here at the center, and once you ring the first bell, we're going to go ahead and grab our talisman, and we have completed the first step of the quest line. Head back to Ymir and talk to him once again. Exhaust his dialogue. He's going to have a dialogue feature where he talks about the nature of the world. Make sure that you definitely do that every single time you come back to him and talk. If he has a new dialogue option, talk to him. You will then get your second ruins map. Once you get your second ruins map and you've talked about the nature of the world, we can go ahead and head over to the second one. Now for the second one, we're going to need something special that we're going to have to pick up on the way. So the second finger ruins are over here in the hinterlands. Now the hinterlands can only be accessed through a certain kind of emote that we actually have to go and pick up. Now you can get to the hinterlands from the back gate of the Shadow Keep. So again, follow the church district to get to the back gate. Now right here where I placed that waypoint in Bonnie Village is where this emote is exactly going to be. So we're going to go ahead and jump on Torrent. We're going to stick to the left as much as possible, and it's going to be across the gap ravine area. I accidentally fell here. If you guys fall, all you have to do is head over here towards the right side where the rocks are a little bit lower, and you're just going to have to use Torrent, and you're going to have to jump up on the rocks and get on to the other side, just like I did over here. Now, you could use the same position. Hopefully you guys don't fall like I did, which will make it a lot easier. Once you head over here, just head to the left side of where the bridge is. Follow the ravine close if you have to. And right where I put the waypoint, if you put the waypoint in the same exact area, it is literally right next to where we have to go. Right here at this tree where this body is posing, we will get the Oh Mother emote. That is what we need to open up the gate into the hinterlands. Now head over here to the Shadow Keep back gate. Once you get here, we're going to go ahead and head over to this statue that is doing the same pose as the dead body was by the tree. So go ahead and take out your Oh Mother emote, and you're just going to go ahead and emote in front of the big giant statue, and the statue will eventually move out of place and open up the secret area and the doorway. Now once you go ahead and open up this doorway, we're going to head through the hinterlands. Now there is going to be 2 tree sentinels, so when you get here, be prepared that there's going to be these 2 guys. If you're not ready, they might catch you off guard and they might end up killing you. Now there is a site of grace, so of course, again, go ahead, touch the site of grace, rest at it if you have to. This way you have a checkpoint in this area, so you do not have to come all the way back. Now the back gate is only 2 inches away, so it really doesn't matter too much, but it's just a precaution. Heading around this big giant gap that's inside of the hinterlands, and we're going to go ahead and head over here. Now the tree sentinel, like I said, is going to pop out of nowhere ready to kill you. I went up here towards the shaman village. You don't have to go up here, you could just go right past him towards the bridge, but I wanted to try to lose his aggro. This way I didn't have to deal with him, and he didn't follow me for who knows how long while I'm trying to get into these finger runes. We're going to go ahead and drop down here if you're following the same path in Shaman Village. Once you get to the Shaman Village, right over here, we're going to head over towards the left cliff side that's right over there. We actually have to head towards the bridge, but if you come over here to the cliff side, you can actually just drop down and you'll be 100% safe. You won't die, so you should be good. Just follow the cliff side over here and you'll be able to drop down a little bit onto this cliff side right here. Once you drop down here, we're going to go ahead and drop down right there. Now once you get to the other side of the bridge towards where the finger ruins are, we're just going to go ahead and touch this side of grace. Again, it just makes things a lot easier if you're hitting these graces on the way. Now, following the path that is actually leading from the bridge, we're going to head down into the finger ruins. They're right there. You can see all the fingers sticking out. We're going to do the same thing like we did in the first one, which is just to head directly into the middle where there is a second hanging bell that we're going to have to go ahead and ring. Now, once we get to this second hanging bell and go ahead and ring it, it is very, very simple from here on. The next one is going to be very easy. Now these are the enemies I was talking about. They shoot these like projectile things, they knock you off torrent right away, and they kind of like shackle you around where you can get completely destroyed by them, and they will just teleport towards you and just grab you and take chunks out of you like it's nothing, destroying your health bar. Once you've rung the second hanging bell, we're going to go ahead and head back to Ymir. We're going to again exhaust his dialogue, and we will get the third ruins map from him. Once you get the third ruins map now, we're going to go ahead and rest at this side of grace that's inside of the cathedral. Once you sit here and pass the time, you will have to come over here to the right side pillar and you'll be able to talk to Yolan. Once you talk to her and exhaust her dialogue, she will tell you about Ymir, how he's absolutely amazing, he's great, and she's there to help him out. And as long as you're there to help him out, there's no issues between the two of you. Now, once you've exhausted her dialogue, go ahead, head back to the site of grace, sit down at it again, and rest. Now, make sure, again, you've exhausted Ymir's dialogue. I had forgotten to exhaust his dialogue after the second one, so that's why I had to go over here and head back to him. But again, exhaust all of his dialogue options. Once resting at the site of grace, once again, Ymir will actually move from the throne into the cemetery. This is when we're going to go ahead and head back to the throne, and you'll be able to examine the throne. Right on the front of it is a button that we're going to have to push, and once this button is pushed, the throne will move back, revealing to us a ladder down to the third and final ruins, the ruins that we need in order to complete this and fight the boss. Now, we're going to go ahead, head down the ladder right over here, and we're going to head into this like big chasm of fingers that are underneath the cathedral. Now, once you get here and you're following this path forward, which is the finger ruins of Mir, of course, we're going to get invaded by Sword's Hand of Knight Anna. We're going to go ahead and fight her, kill her, and once you've done that and head a little bit forward, we're going to go ahead and enter in to the boss fight after ringing the third and final hanging bell that we have to for this quest line. Go ahead and ring this one and you will be automatically sent in to the boss fight. Once you're in the boss fight, we're going to go ahead and kill the boss, of course, in order for us to complete this part of the quest line. This boss was actually not too difficult, in my opinion. I don't know how it will be for you guys, but it should be a very easy boss fight. So go ahead and kill the boss. Now, the finger ruins are underneath, of course. We're going to go ahead and teleport back up to the cathedral. Once we get inside of the cathedral, we're going to run back up to the throne. Now, when you get here and you're going to go ahead and examine the throne one more time, you will be invaded by Sword Hand of Knight Yolan, the woman that we were just talking to at the pillar. Go ahead and kill her. Once you've killed her, you will then be forced to fight Ymir himself, because he wants to become the Mother of Fingers instead, after you've taken out the original one, which was his goal the entire time. After killing Ymir, which is fairly simple, he does have some magic abilities that are absolutely crazy that will destroy your health bar as well. But once you kill him, we're gonna go ahead and head back to the site of grace. You will get his bell bearing, the maternal staff, and you will get his high priest armor set, which is really good for magic builds. Once you rest down back at the grace, we're going to go ahead and head back over to the right pillar where Yolan was before, and she's wounded, of course, after you've killed her as a summon. We're going to go ahead and speak with her. Now, there's two options for this one. There's the Iris of Grace, and then there's another Iris. I didn't have the other Iris with me, but that is like the bad part of it, where you kill her. The Iris of Grace is where you save her and you get this Ash of War that I was talking about at the very beginning of the video. So for me, I went ahead and did the Iris of Grace. She will then disappear and you will get Sword Hand of Knight Yolan as a Spirit Ash. But the quest is not fully done just yet. We now have to head back up to the hinterlands, and we're going to go ahead and head to the site of grace right outside of the back gate. Once we head to the hinterlands, we have to head over there to the shaman village. So we're just going to go ahead and follow the big giant gap once again, and we're going to come around over here towards the hill that we went up last time. Again, the tree sentinel will pop out every single time if you don't kill him, so be prepared for that just in case. We're going to go ahead and head around him though, and we're going to head over here towards the left, climb up the rocks right over here, and we'll be able to go ahead and find the shaman village like we did the first time we came to the hinterlands by accident. Then once we get to the shaman village though, we're just going to go ahead and head behind the shacks that are over here, the village itself, and there's going to be a set of rocks that are kind of leading down towards a pathway. Right underneath the shaman village though is Rabbis Rise, which is where we set that site of grace up last time when we were going towards the cathedral and towards the church district of Shadow. Getting to this tower though, there's going to be a secret area at the very top. So once you get to the back of Shaman Village, right over here again, we're going to go ahead and head off the edge right over here. You can kind of tell that it slopes down a little bit. We're going to go ahead, drop down here. We're going to follow this path down. We're going to go ahead, drop down once again. We're going to go ahead and drop down here. We're going to head towards the left over here, drop down here. We're going to drop down one more time, and right underneath this next cliffside, you're going to go ahead and see Rabbit's Rise. Now, right underneath this cliff right here is going to be the balcony that we actually have to land on. So make sure that you're aiming for that balcony. Go ahead, walk off the edge, and once you do, you'll land on the balcony. Heading in here, you'll find another dead body, and when you examine it, you can usher Anna into the sword hand of Night Yulan's spirit ashes. Doing that will give you Yulan and Anna as spirit ashes, which makes it a 2-in-1 spirit ash, which is absolutely incredible. Now you can take her out from the spirit ash. I don't know why you would want to, but just in case you wanted to, you can always go back to the dead body and take her out. So with that being said, that is how you do all of Ymir's questline, how you find Meter, Mother of Fingers boss, and how you get the spirit ash for Yulan and Anna, which is very, very simple. It's a very easy questline, very simple questline, and can be done fairly early on in the DLC. Honestly, I don't think you really have to do too much to get here. At least in my opinion, it doesn't make sense that you would have to do a astronomical amount of things in order to get to this. And you can do this at any time. I did this after I beat the DLC, the main bosses. This quest line will always be there for you guys to go ahead and complete. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you guys in the next Shadow of the Erdtree videos. Goodbye, and remember to stay timeless.